Hey friends, my name is Jackson. I'm not your average NB, and welcome back to my channel. And today we're doing r/slash am I the devil. I'm just gonna warn you, it's late, like it's about 8 o'clock at night, and my mom's like out at a thing. I wasn't able to record earlier today because basically, I had it. My Mondays are usually pretty busy anyway, and Tracy came today, and we did like my groceries and a bunch of other stuff. So it honestly got pretty busy, and I just wanted to let you guys know that I have an alarm going off at 9 o'clock, and as soon as that happens, I have to actually go because my mom is coming home by then. She's coming home around 9:15, I'm pretty sure. So as soon as my alarm goes off, that's when I have to stop recording. So I'm gonna try and get through like a few stories today, and then I'm gonna record the rest tomorrow. And I'm gonna be doing that. So I'm gonna try and do this. And I'm gonna try I wanna upload 2 videos this week, and I wanna upload 2 videos basically every week until and I want to record 2 videos basically every week until I get a job. But you also have to remember that today's a 4-day weekend, so that's one day this week and then one day next week that I'm not going to be able to record at all. So I've got Friday, I'm not going to be able to record, and then Monday I'm also not going to be able to record. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to figure out my groceries with mom because I don't think Tracy's going to be coming that day, so I'm going to have to deal with that. But anyway, I just wanted to um point I just wanted to go ahead and say that, and I'm gonna start with think the anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and start. And I know I usually do some autism videos during the Autism Awareness Month, and it's already like half over, but I am planning to do some videos this month probably. And since I'm autistic, I feel like I don't just have to limit my autism videos to like Autism Awareness Month, so I can do some throughout the year or whenever I want to. And I do have a few planned. I just don't know how long they're gonna take, and I don't really. I feel like quantity over quality is more with those. Quality over quantity, I mean. Uh, I'm just gonna go into my save post right now, and I'm gonna go through these, and then I have like a shitload of best of Redditor posts, best of Redditor updates posts, so I'm gonna have to do a video on that at some point. Maybe that'll be my second video this week, since I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything more than that. And I definitely want to do the reading my journal video on like my second channel. I don't know when the hell that's gonna come out. Maybe sometime next week. I don't know. I'm gonna try and do it, but uh I also am going to try and use this long weekend to finish my book so that I can like post a review or something of it. But I'm gonna try and find all the r/slash am I the devil posts that I've saved. I don't know. Forgot. Okay, r/slash am I the devil. Here's one. Hang on. Okay, the title in r/slash am I the devil is Passport Bro, which I don't know what that means. Obviously, it has some negative meaning. I have gone to Thailand once a year for the past 10 years for 3 weeks of sex tourism. What does that mean? Okay. 10 years ago, I was a sexually repressed young man hearing tales and rumors of Thailand's red light district. One day I decided life is too short and I decided to go. It was a life-changing experience. Um, I've gone to the same brothel every year, and they know me and they know what I like. It's my favorite 3 weeks of the year. The only year I missed was 2020 because of COVID-19. That was a rough year. I'm going to be leaving next month for my annual trip, and I cannot wait. I'm so confused. What? Wait a sec. Maybe I wanted to be the Asian girl getting fucked by me. Okay, that's in the comments. I still can't get over that monologue. My jaw dropped listening to it all. Hang on, what? What monologue? Where? I asked a friend if they had seen White Lotus, and they said, I saw a clip of a guy talking about wanting to be an Asian girl and get fucked by himself. I kept waiting for the punchline, but it never came. Okay, what? Okay, comment, taking advantage of poor people and boasting about it. Fuck's sake. OOP, it's their chosen career path and they enjoy it. Oh my, OMFG, some days I really wish I was illiterate. Okay, I have no idea what these comments mean. Comment, taking advantage of poor people and boasting about it. Fuck's sake. OOP, it's their chosen career path and they enjoy it. What? I'm so confused. Wait a second. Where did all of these come from? Because they have they have a vertical line. Wait, is that horizontal or vertical? I don't know. They have the line that goes up and down. I forgot which one it is. Whatever. Ignore my stupidity. But it has one of those lines that goes like up and down, and before these comments, which means it's supposed to be like a quote from I have no freaking idea where this came from. Okay, this is originally from r/confessions. I'm gonna try and find these comments. Okay, Thailand, huh? I know what kind of man you are. Exactly what I was thinking, lol. What, okay. Whenever I've seen someone say they go to Thailand all the time, they are usually old creepy men, and I always get a feeling that they are going for sex, and it's either lady boys or kids, because if it's just paying for sex, you can get that in plenty of places. Why go to Thailand unless it's for something you can't get back home? I don't I don't get it. If it's their job, okay, one of these comments says it's their chosen career path and they enjoy it. But okay, wait, I'm so confused. Okay, I don't know. Honestly, I'm getting out of here. I don't know what the fuck is going on in these comments. I don't know where this shit is coming from. I am having such a huge problem understanding this. So we're just going to move on to the next one, and maybe someone will be kind enough to explain it in the comments. If you know what the fuck is going on in that post, please explain it to me because I have no freaking idea what is going on. I don't know where those comments are coming from. I don't know what it means. Like, it's all seems to be quotes from the post, but I couldn't find it in the post. I couldn't find it in the comments. I don't know anything about what's going on, obviously. I don't know what a passport bro is. Like, and that one comment that that guy made about it's their chosen career path and they enjoy it, I don't really see the problem. It is their chosen career path and they do enjoy it. And why can't he take advantage of that? Like, I don't. It's the same as someone like hiring a hooker or something. I don't really get what the problem is. I don't, whatever. Okay, you know what? We're just going to move on to the next one because I am very, very confused right now. And this one is a lot more straightforward. And the title on r/AmItheDevil is "Am I the asshole for being emotionally callous?" And originally this was posted to r/Am I the asshole? And obviously OP was voted the asshole. And the title there is is "Am I the asshole for leaving my partner to suffer with a migraine and vomiting all day/night?" Oh shit. Oh shit, okay. My partner recently came down with a migraine and was bedbound and had 12 plus hours of vomiting. They were not able to eat or drink anything or take painkillers. Okay, so they go by they them pronouns, it seems, which is cool. Always cool when I see a fellow non-binary person. By the way, there's a non-binary person in, you know, that really old commercial that surfaced in like 2009 where they had these like movie theater characters who were going to the movies, but they were actually just there and bothering people in the movies. Like there's one that's swiping on their phone, and then there's one that's talking the whole time named Sally Soundtrack, I think they called her. And they made like a new updated version of that recently, like a couple months ago, and there is a non-binary person at the end that they say like this is Sammy Scholar and he spends the whole time they spend the whole time switching between the same four apps on their phone or something like that. And I was like, "Oh my god, they have they them pronouns." Like this is the update version. Like I get what they're saying. Don't disturb people in the movie theater and stuff, which is definitely a really good message. And I used to love those old commercials. I used to think they were funny and like, "Oh my god, she's talking the whole time. Haha, she's so annoying." And like I thought and like the message is important because, you know, keep your mouth shut when the movie's on and also turn off your phone when the movie's playing. I think that's just common knowledge and respectful to other people in the theater. The only time I'll, like, be loud during the movies is if I'm literally alone in the theater, like, every once in a while, I'll be alone in the theater with just me and maybe one of the kids, and I'll and I'll use that opportunity to, like, get loud and have actual and have, like, louder reactions to the movies because no one else is there, so why not? But if there's someone else in the theater, I'm always respectful of that, and I always try to be respectful of that, and I try not to, like, talk during the movie and stuff. Anyway, this guy's obviously the asshole. They were not able to eat or drink anything or take painkillers. I was working all day, so I didn't really keep track of what was going on with them. I also had a work event that night. Wait, you had a work event and you used that? Okay, look, going to work is bad enough. You should have definitely stayed home with them or something and, tended to them when they were sick. But, like, going to a work thing after? No. You should have just worked the day and been like, "Hey, my partner is feeling really sick. I have to go home and take care of them or whatever." I don't know. This is honestly one of the reasons why I'm never going to be in a relationship because I would obviously feel like I wanted to like stay home and take care of my partner when they were sick like this or something, and I honestly don't really feel like dropping everything just to do that. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm just some callous asshole because if that happened to my mom, like if she broke a bone or if she was like super, super sick or something, obviously I would try and do whatever I could to help. But, I don't know. If I was in a relationship, I would just have to, like, and then there's the whole thing about, oh, you have to check in with everything. You have to like come to a compromise on a lot of things because, some things just don't work the way you want them to. Or, if I wanted another snake, I would have to talk about it with my partner. If I wanted another tarantula, same deal. And so many people are just not cool with tarantulas and they wouldn't even like appreciate that I was bringing the tarantulas into the relationship if I did get into a relationship with someone. I mean, I think the whole reason I'm aromantic is because I just literally don't want a partner. Like, I don't know. I just don't have those feelings because I don't want to be that responsible for another person. I just don't feel like it. I mean, like, yeah, if something like that happened with family, of course I would help them, but like I don't want to tie myself like that to another person and, have to, come to compromises and stuff. I want financial and personal freedom, I guess is my main point. Okay, anyway, before I left, I asked my partner if they wanted me to cancel the event, and they said no. Wait, okay. Well, okay. Honestly, kind of. Okay, look, not saying, okay, I don't know. I don't know. If I say, well, they said no, they said they didn't want you to cancel the event. I'm gonna get dogpiled by people saying, well, they should have just automatically known. But being an autistic person, I have to be told these things. Like, my mom and I were having a conversation. If you don't want to talk to me, you have to actually tell me. If you don't want to talk right now, you can just say it and I'll stop bothering you. And she doesn't listen to that, and I don't know why. She just lets me keep talking. So I don't know. I'm gonna totally get dogpiled by people, but at the same time, she's super, super sick, and I feel like he should have known. I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying it to like look better or something so that a bunch of people aren't saying, yeah, well, he should have known. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I need to have these things spelled out for me to be quite honest. I don't know. I mean, they asked the question and they got an answer and they took that answer at face value, which is what I would do. And before I left, they did ask me to call the doctor to make an emergency appointment for the next day. The doctor was on loudspeaker and expressed concern and said they wanted my partner to come in that evening because of the vomiting and dehydration. Okay, interesting. Listen, okay. Okay, if the doctor says it, then you should do it. I want to make that super clear. If the doctor says, "Hey, you should do this thing," I would definitely do it. Because you said they hadn't been able to drink anything all day, and they were, like, in bed vomiting for I don't know how many hours. It says 12 plus hours, but we don't know how long the work event took, so at this point, the work day usually lasts about 8 hours, so let's just say they've been suffering for 8 hours straight, and now they're gonna suffer for another few hours so you can go to your, like, work party or work event or whatever you wanna call it. It was clear my partner was unsafe to drive, but an appointment was made the next morning. No, no. Okay, that part is really shitty. Yeah, you should have gone in that night. You should have just canceled the event. You should have said, I can't come because I have to do this for my partner. They haven't been drinking anything for like 8 hours and they've been vomiting like crazy. And okay, I don't know. I went to my event and didn't think anything about it. I got back about 8 hours later. 8 hours? What? Wait, you said they had 12 plus hours of vomiting? And you were working for 8 hours, then you went to a party for 8 hours. It doesn't say how long you were, like, your work event took 8 hours? Where did you go? Did you have to fly to another country or something? That is an insane amount of time for a work event. That is ridiculous. Okay, I don't, they wanted you to come in that evening. I don't know. You this, just want to be clear on that, but I'm just going to guess that it started at around 8, so let's just say that you came back at, like, 4 AM. Um, okay, my partner is now upset because I didn't check in or contact them to see if they were okay. I didn't think I needed to because they hadn't communicated that they wanted me to check in, so it's kinda on them. Am I the asshole? Okay, well, when your partner's in that kind of situation, you should just know that they want you to at least check in occasionally. But no, you should have dropped everything to take her to the doctor. I'm sorry, but you should have. Like, it's one thing for you to ask if they want you to cancel the event, and for them to say no. That's like one thing. I mean, you still should have known, but like, whatever, I guess. And I know I'm gonna get a bunch of people jumping down my throat, but I don't care. If if I ask you if you want me to cancel your work event because you're feeling sick, because I'm feeling sick, and because you're feeling sick, and you say no, I'm going to take that no at face value. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. I can't. I am bad at recognizing things like that, but at the same time, I also would have noticed if you were vomiting for ages and, like, not done and, like, not been able to eat or drink, I would have been worried about you. I don't wanna say I would have canceled the event, but I don't wanna say I would have not canceled the event. I don't know what I would have done. I don't know what I would have done in that case because on the one hand, you asked them if they wanted you to cancel, they said no, but on the other hand, like, they were obviously suffering, and when they're throwing up like that, they can communicate that to you, like, other than the migraine, which you couldn't actually see, this is an actual visual symptom of being sick. I don't know. I have very weird feelings about like what I would do in this situation. And I don't just want to say like the thing everyone wants to hear, which is that I would have canceled the event because you asked them if I don't know, whatever. Honestly, I know it's not on them that they wanted you to check in, and everyone, you should check in, but especially if they're super, super sick. And especially if you're gone for 8 hours, even if they're not sick, you should message them like a few hours in and be like, hey babe, it's midnight right now. I'm probably not gonna be home for like another 4 hours, so, go to bed, don't wait up or something. I don't know. This is ridiculous. This whole story is dumb because it's one thing for them to say they don't want you to cancel the event, they want you to go, which is what they said. And it's another thing for the doctor to be like, yeah, you should probably come in tonight, and you to just ignore that. Because guess what? The doctors know more than you. They just do. And this is something that I keep having to tell my mom about and remind her of. And like, she does not really take the doctors seriously. Like, she takes me I don't know how to say it without making her look like an asshole, which she's not. She's not an asshole. She's not in any way a bad person. She's not it's not like she's doing it on purpose so I can just suffer. But when I had salmonella, I kept asking her to take me to the doctor after like I think by the third day I was asking her to take me to the clinic because if everything I read online says if you have diarrhea for more than 2 days, you should go to the doctor. So I kept sending her these little like articles where I'd taken screenshots of if it says y- where it says if you have diarrhea for more than 2 days, go to the doctor and stuff like that. And it took like another 2 days for her to actually take me, but eventually she took me, and that's when we found out I had salmonella. And it did take like it took The thing is, it took like 3 days. It took 5 days for it to take me to the clinic. Then the doctor said, if you still are having diarrhea in 2 days, then take a stool sample, which we did. Then my mom turned in the results on, I think, Monday, and they said it would take, no, I think it was Friday that we turned the results in. We turned it in. And then, yeah, because we took the stool sample on Thursday, and then my mom turned in the sample on Friday morning. So we eventually ended up, and then we had to wait like a week for the results. So we ended up waiting till I think next, not not next Friday, but the Monday after the Friday. Because, or no, wait, next Saturday, because my mom called in because I asked her to, and they were open on Saturdays. I called in because my mom asked me to. They said they would call in a week with the results. They did not call in a week with the results. And then I got really upset and I was like, you need to call them tomorrow. So my mom did, and then they like gave us the results. They said that I had salmonella. Then we went, or they said that they couldn't discuss it over the phone and we should go in. We went in that afternoon and that's when they told me I had salmonella, and I was mostly cleared up by now. I want to be clear about that. Like my diarrhea was mostly cleared up because I had diarrhea for a week, and then we took the stool sample, and then we waited a whole nother week for the results. So by that point, it didn't even matter anymore because I was mostly fine. But I still decided that I wanted to take the pills just to make sure everything was out of my system since, salmonella can become a real problem if you don't treat it. So I decided to take the pills anyway, and I decided to treat it. So I took the pills, and it was like 2 pills every day for 3 days. That's literally like a super easy fix. And that was what happened. And then a couple of days went by and I took on the medication and I was fine. And 3 days later, the medication was gone and I was perfectly fine. So it was actually really easy to fix, which is good because I was nervous that it was going to be something more, which it wasn't. So I don't know. It was just a really stressful time for me. And my mom refused to take me to the doctor. And I had to beg her for like 2 days straight for me to take her to the doc, for her to take me to the doctor because I couldn't exactly go there myself because, I'm sick. And can't ask Tracy to take me because same deal. So I don't know. I didn't know what to do at that point, and like my mom, she was obviously not being an asshole, but she also was kind of dismissive. And when the doctor said, "Oh, you should get a stool sample, or you should do this, or yeah, this if it goes on for 2 more days, it's serious." So hopefully, the next time I'm having diarrhea for an extended period of time, she'll actually listen to me. Um, Instead of me having to beg her for days to take me. Um, anyway, I know she wasn't doing it like intentionally or whatever, but she can be dismissive when it comes to like health stuff. And it always bothers me because like we should listen to what the doctors say and not what she says. So I guess my point is that the guy should have listened to what the doctor said. Like the partner doesn't have medical knowledge, so she can't exactly make that decision, even though I feel like sorry, not she, they, but I feel like they should have said yes to cancel the work event if that's what they wanted. But then when they called the doctor and the doctor said, yeah, you guys should come in tonight, they totally should have listened. The guy should have listened and took her in right away, but he didn't. And yeah, dehydration can be a serious problem, especially when you're vomiting everything out so you don't have anything inside you anymore. Okay, and this next post from r/AmItheDevil is called This Cut Deep Emotionally. And it's in quotes, which I think means it came from, it's like a line in the story, so let's see. Don't hate, eat a cake. That's the username here. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. My cake is in Toronto. I'm getting it this weekend. Finally, after 2 missed expos. 2 missed expos, you guys. But finally this weekend is the weekend. And I have not seen any adverse weather conditions, so let's hope that holds. And as far as I know, there's no ice storms, and I'm very, very, very hopeful this weekend that it will happen. Either way, I'm gonna be super happy. Am I the asshole for yelling at my wife for starting a hobby without me? And obviously, OP was dubbed the asshole. Posting this on throwaway as I'm not sure if she will see this, and also because you don't want to get yelled at. Okay, anyway, a couple of days ago, I, a 28 male, and my wife, 26 female, went to a craft store. She found a good deal on large fluffy yarn. She's always said how she wants to make a big fluffy crochet blanket, so she got a few bundles. Hmm. I wonder if I could learn crochet. I could give it a shot. I see people like making these really cool crochet things, like stuffed animals or blankets or whatever, like online, and I always thought it was really cool, and that maybe I should try it myself. And people can actually make money selling that stuff online, so maybe I should do like an LGBTQ line or something. LGBTQ plus. Don't forget the plus. I learned how to crochet for my Okay. I learned how to crochet from my grandma years ago. Sorry, guys, my nose is being a hassle today. I hate this stupid nasal thing. My wife has seen me crochet before and knows that I know how to do it. She had suggested that I could teach her how to crochet after I'm off work this weekend. She works a different shift than I do, so our schedules line up sporadically. I was more than happy to teach her. Today I got home from work and found the packaging in the trash. She worked a later shift today, so I didn't bother her while she slept. When she woke up, I saw that she had already started without me. She had been bored and decided she would try on her own. She said she messed it up after the first few rows and would need to start again. I was very upset and angry. I keep crocheting because my grandma has since passed away, and so I feel close to her every time I'm working on a project. This cut deep emotionally. There's the line. I feel betrayed and not like I was valued in this. She tried to downplay that it was a big deal and that I was overreacting because I messed it up, so I'll have to start over again, and you can show me how to do it when I start over again. I was really looking forward to spending time with her and showing her a skill I learned from family. I'm confused if I did overreact and if it's not as big as I'm making it out to be. Any advice is very much appreciated. Thank you for taking the time to read. I'm actually curious if there is some kind of update here. Let's go to the person's profile. Okay. Yeah, there's no oh, no. There's like oh, he posted in two different subreddits, but that was 2 days ago and there is no update so far. So I don't know. Maybe there'll be an update later. I don't know. Um, you're the asshole. You yelled at your wife because she tried to crochet by watching a video instead of waiting for you to teach her. Just because your grandma taught you doesn't mean it's prerequisite to learn from a relative instead of, in the modern age, learning from a video. I'm sure you can teach her more complicated stitches and tricks in the future, and she will be happy to learn them from you. But that doesn't excuse you wanting exclusivity when it comes to teaching her how to crochet. She's not going to want to think about crochet near him. He's ruined it. Right? If he got angry enough to start yelling over her trying to learn on her own, it's now a fraught subject altogether. It can't be a safe topic or hobby to do around OP, because there's always going to be OP's resentment simmering right under the surface. Ugh. I'm sure she isn't going to want him to even say the word crochet around OP now. She isn't going to want him. I sure wouldn't want any. I sure wouldn't want to learn anything from this guy. He seems way too emotional. He probably gets pissed off and isn't a good teacher. You're the asshole. This is not a safety issue to get someone's attention. That's when you yell. Sounds like you need anger management or counseling by your own words of being short tempered, and you yell a lot and blow things out of proportion. None of that is okay. Your wife was curious, and you can still do it without her. Disappointment is okay, but what you did was not. You're the asshole. This is extremely controlling behavior. So she can't learn how to do something you already know how to do unless you are the one to teach her? Is she allowed to learn how to change a tire without your permission? It is so toxic to get angry and feel betrayed just because your partner wanted to learn something new, regardless of your own sentimentality over the activity. Yeah, is it like a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing for you to want to teach her in one way, but like the way you reacted over this and you felt like personally attacked, that's pretty messed up, and yeah, I honestly understand why she's so upset, and You didn't make a good impression over this, and you didn't make her feel good about doing this hobby. You could have just said, "Oh, that's cool, but maybe I can show you this time and I can help you learn some tips and tricks or something." But like you getting so upset over this, it's a problem now. You've turned it into a problem and you've made her feel bad, and she is going to have a problem with that now. And I know that because this was the type of household I grew up in, and a lot of things weren't safe because my dad made it so. He ruined everything. And the things I did like, he either made me quit or he made them not fun anymore. Girl Scouts, I had to quit Girl Scouts because I forget the reason. I just couldn't do it anymore. Um and that was before I came out as non-binary a couple years ago, by the way, like recently. I didn't come out when I was a kid because, well, besides the fact that I just didn't know or wasn't able to explore it, there was the obvious reason. And yeah, and my dad completely ruined karate for me by turning it into this not fun thing and yelling whenever we would like get something wrong as if we weren't kids learning how to do this activity. And like even the professionals are wrong sometimes, like even the best belts, they don't always get it right because mistakes are part of human nature. So, if you're gonna yell every time, if you're gonna yell at your wife for wanting to do this on her own, and hey, she checked out a YouTube video and she was trying it first, then yeah, you're probably a shitty teacher who gets pissed off way too easily. And I decide, and after I was done with karate, because I wasn't allowed to quit, obviously, so finally, once CPS came and everything, I never went back to karate. And I'm still sore about the subject. And that's probably what you've done for your wife right now. You've turned it into a not fun thing. You've turned it into this angry ball of anger, I guess. I don't know how to say it, but you guys get what I'm saying, I think. I actually have to, I gotta eat something now because I'm actually really hungry and I have to do some other stuff. So I can't keep recording today. I'm gonna try and record the rest of this tomorrow, so maybe for another 2 to 3 hours. And I'm gonna try and get some other videos up this week. I want to get at least one more video up this week, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know if that's going to be any good though. So we'll have to figure it out and I'll have to see. And don't forget, I'm taking Friday off of recording from this week and Monday off of recording from next week because my mom's going to be around those days and I'm just not going to have the time. Unless something happens, like my mom might go out, like I'm pretty sure she's going to church for Good Friday, so I might have a couple hours then. I might have time. But other than that, I'm just gonna not record. Wait, I think she's going to see my sister on Monday, so I'm actually going to be available to record that day. So maybe I'll try and record another video. Okay, I will be back soon, so you guys are gonna see me in a second. Alright, I'm back with more stories, so let's get started. And all of these are from r/mythedevil, by the way. This is all one subreddit. I know I sometimes you guys I asked them if you guys wanted best of writer updates or r/mythedevil. You guys said you wanted r/mythedevil. Anyway, so the title in r/mythedevil is "Holy Shit, the Comments," and this is originally from r/wedding. And the title there is "Feeling Bad That My Side of the Family Can't Contribute Financially to the Wedding." I'm 29-year-old male who is currently working as a social worker and also in grad school getting my MSW, whatever that means. Something social work, I assume. Maybe something, I assume it means like something of social work. My fiance is a lawyer who comes from a well-to-do family. Father is also an attorney and her mother. Our wedding will be September 13th. I grew up with a family who struggled at times. My mother has multiple sclerosis and wasn't able to work as long as she wanted to. My dad was a CAD drafter, and he did have some salary increases towards the end of his career, which helped my family. Now my dad is retired and my mom is on SSDI, which I think is some kind of disability. They don't have major struggles, but they can't contribute to my wedding. My fiance and I are helping with expenses, but it's mostly my future in laws who are helping. One of my cousins on my dad's side is chef and caterer, and will be doing the rehearsal dinner for us for a reduced rate, which I'm splitting expenses with my dad. My future in laws are great and have been helpful in planning and again with expenses, but I'm feeling bad because my own parents aren't able to do anything for the wedding. My fiance surprisingly was okay with having my parents' names on the invitations, even though they aren't paying for any wedding costs. I was surprised she was okay with it, but I do wonder if she's not okay with it and just agreed to it for my sake. Yeah, probably. 2 years ago, my fiance's maternal grandmother passed away, and the grandmother's house was given to by my fiance. I moved in last fall, and I pay my fiance rent and help with utilities, electric bills, and internet. To avoid being called a moocher by her family, I pay rent via check, which I keep copies of, and I keep copies of utilities payments as well. When my fiance moved into the house, there was a dishwasher, washing machine, and a dryer that had been put in by her grandparents. A week before Christmas, we hosted an ugly Christmas sweater party here at fiance's house, and her parents surprised us with a new washing machine and dryer. My parents both looked sad, and I later talked with my dad, who said he feels like a failure because he can't help my fiance and I with major things. My fiance and her mom hosted a spa day last weekend for the maid of honor, bridesmaids, and they included my mom this spa day. My mom went but felt bad afterwards because she and my dad can't do anything like that for the wedding party. I feel bad that my family can't do anything that equals up to my fiance's side of the family. I worry about my fiance and her parents looking down on my family at some point. I'm thinking of telling my fiance and her mom if I could repay them for my mom's expenses at the spa day. I'm dreading the weekend of my wedding because I know the rehearsal dinner won't be fancy or look nice. I'm dreading knowing that my parents aren't able to do anything of equal value. And the title on our Slash by the Devil was Holy Shit the Comments. So I guess we gotta check out these comments. And one of the mods, the comment is pinned, one of the mods says, "Yup, closing this down." Okay, stop seeing my side versus her side, my contribution versus her contribution. You are getting married and you are a team. Both of your families are contributing what they can, and you should be grateful to both and not keeping score. Two, stop being embarrassed of your family. Exactly, there's literally no indication or sign from the bride or her family that they're upset by this. They honestly sound like very kind and generous people. I can relate to the shame and hyperfixation that OP is feeling, but it sounds like he's marrying into a wonderful family that is genuinely happy to be helping to celebrate them and make their lives easier and making their lives easier. Of course, they would be, including your mom, in their spa day. She's about to be a part of their family, too. You're all about to be family. No one is keeping track of who pays what or how much each party has contributed. Side note, all my internalized shame about my family and our house was directly taught to me by my parents. Hearing all their negative comments throughout my childhood was enough for me to believe that we were something to be ashamed of, even though there was no outside evidence saying otherwise. They obviously didn't intend to pass down that kind of shame, but it can be helpful to remember where those feelings actually come from and whether or not they're based on reality, especially because in OP's case, he sounds like he's causing himself a lot of unnecessary suffering and guilt over something that should be bringing joy and excitement. Maybe your parents came from modest beginnings and understand. Maybe they truly understand how devastating MS can be. You should talk to someone so you won't mess up this relationship by your unfounded doubts of feeling lesser than. Sounds like they love and accept you. I think it's likely that this issue is more on your side than theirs. You and your parents all seem hyper aware of this divide, but I guess this is normal for theirs. If they're invested and love you both, chances are they are perfectly fine contributing what they are. Um, Contributions come many ways, and money is only one of them. Your parents may not be putting financially, but they are putting in mentally and emotionally. And if your fiance's family is traditional, chances are they expected to be paying for their daughter's wedding. My parents are retired and not like that. Please stop worrying. Etiquette absolutely does not demand that contributions be of equal money value, and people who give expensive gifts and host expensive parties like doing that sort of thing. Hmm. Okay. I hear you. I don't even have parents. One is dead, one is not in my life at all. And trust me, it's better that way. My fiance's parents are amazing and very involved slash supportive. It's a mind fuck. I know you probably know this. Your parents didn't fail. They're there. They're showing up. They love you. That's more than enough. Remember that your fiance's family is going to be your family now too, and that they likely aren't providing support because they expect your parents to provide the same type of support in return. They're doing it because they love your partner and you, and they're trying to help you guys start off your married life together in a wonderful way. If they look down on your folks, which it really doesn't sound like they do, that is a poor reflection on them, not you or your parents. I know it's hard, but try and focus on the wonderful gift you have here. Great in-laws. And then OP answers, and he's got 104 down votes. It's hard to focus on it being a wonderful gift from in-laws when my own parents are unable to do the same things her parents are able to do. It hurts me that my parents know that my future in-laws are able to do amazing things for us and they aren't able to. I feel that eventually my fiance will just view my parents as useless. Your parents are able to do amazing things for you, just not financially. Why are you so hyper focused solely on the financial contribution? And then OP replies again. He has minus 76 downvotes this time. There's nothing my parents can do that will ever match up to what my fiance's parents can do. They can't give my fiance any expensive gifts for her shower. When my fiance and I have kids, my parents won't be able to give the types of gifts and college funds that my fiance's parents will be able to give. What will you do if your future includes children and a divorce? Social work is a notoriously low paying profession. It's very important work, but maybe not the best career path for you since money is so important to you. I think you'll completely fall apart when your ex wife is able to pay for your kids' weddings and lifestyles, and you aren't. You need to get some help sorting through these insecurities before you destroy your relationships. And then this guy responds again, and this time he's got minus 32 downvotes. I went to social work to help people with disabilities because my mom is disabled due to MS. Honestly, I don't have the math skills or talents for things like tech, business, finance, etc. So are you useless? You don't make very much money. By your logic, you're pretty darn useless. Or is it the case that your personal value is predicated on something other than your spending power? Right now, I'm making 65K a year. I'm getting an MSW to at least make more money down the line. I am begging you to get the point everyone is making. Someone else says, dude, have some respect for yourself. You really need therapy. Okay. You are so money focused, it's depressing. I want you to think about this. Your parents raised and loved you your whole life. They gave you food, they gave you clothes, you had a roof over your head, correct? So why the fuck is money the only thing that you feel earns respect? Do you not love your parents? What did they do to deserve a piece of shit son who's embarrassed they aren't filthy rich? Have you talked to your fiance and gotten her opinion? You don't need to be getting married, or at the very least, save your parents some time and just tell them you find them embarrassing, and we'll see how great your quality of life is when your fiance finds out her husband basically just wants her parents' money. And then OP says, I don't want her parents' money. I have even said in my original post that I pay rent and covered utilities at her house in order to avoid her parents thinking I'm a moocher. I just wish my parents were in more equal situations to her parents. My parents can't give my fiance and I anything that equals up to what her parents give us. Yeah, monetarily, but again, there's more than just that. Okay, but you need to get over it. Like the only solutions here are you get over it. I suggest therapy. You really seem like you need it, or break off the engagement and find someone with parents in the same financial situation that yours are in, so you stop needlessly feeling like it's a weird competition. And then someone else says this. Okay, I don't know what there is a ton of comments here. Damn, you are shallow. I'm really concerned about a social worker who thinks people's value lies in how much money they make and can give. Please consider therapy or a change in profession, maybe both. I don't judge my clients based on how much money they can make or give. My focus is on helping them prepare slash start their lives after SCI or TBI rehab. I'm pretty sure TBI is traumatic brain injury. And SCI, I don't know what that means. Something. Spinal cord something, maybe. I've been in my current position for 7 years and I've cried over many client situations. Then why do you judge your parents on how much money they make and what they can financially give? Why are your parents judged differently than your clients? Often helpers can have a quiet superiority towards their clients that absolves them of responsibility, but that's not true respect either. I don't have any superiority towards my clients. When it comes to helping them with financial resources and SSDI, I ask the necessary questions to determine what they qualify for and can apply for. Whatever I feel in personal life about finances is left out when I'm working with clients. I've been at my current job for 7 years and I like the facility I work for. I'm not a bad social worker. I do everything I can for my clients, but there is only so much I can do. I'm not a monster at my workplace and I do respect and kindness for my clients. And then someone else says, why do you ignore their questions? Then why do you judge your parents on how much money they make and what they can financially give? Why are your parents judged differently than your clients? I treat my clients without judgment because it's my job and I need to do best by my clients. I don't ignore their questions and answer what I can to the best of my ability. Some things I do have to consult with my supervisor for others or others within my facility or other agencies. My first focus is asking the client the necessary questions. Then that didn't answer the questions either. Why aren't you answering them? Stop ignoring them. And they repeat the question again, and there was no response from OP. And that was 2 days. And that was 2 days ago. So okay, let's check out the comments on r/AmItheDevil because I'm curious. I want to see. I gotta see these comments. OOP's comments, holy shit, it's clear he's super embarrassed of his parents. My parents aren't able to give us a special gift, and it hurts because I know my parents are always going to be behind slash lesser than our parents. My mom wants to crochet an Afghan for my fiance for her bridal shower, but I told my mom no because my fiance doesn't have handmade things and everything she owns is store bought. That sounds like a lovely gift idea, and the fact that he dismissed it out of hand because his precious fiance only wants store bought things is, I don't know. It's hard to focus on it being a wonderful gift for my in laws when my own parents aren't able to do the same things that her parents are able to. It hurts me that my parents know that my future in laws aren't able to do amazing things for us and they aren't able to. I feel that eventually my fiance will just view my parents as useless. That's a fiance problem then if she judges people only by their financial status. Hmm. What are your views on your husband's parents and your inability to help at the level that your parents have helped? Do you respect them? Do your parents like and respect your husband's parents? You mentioned both parents helping, and in what ways have your husband's parents helped? My parents aren't able to help my fiance, and I have a better quality of life, and it hurts me. I don't know if he's just projecting on his fiance, but his embarrassment about his parents is palpable and so awful. Sounds like his parents are loving people who just happen to be somewhat hard up. There's nothing my parents can do that will ever match up to what my fiance's parents can do. They can't give my fiance any expensive gifts for her shower. When my fiance and have kids, my parents won't be able to give the types of gifts and college funds that my fiance's parents are able to give. OOP is reminding me so much of Clyde from an American Tragedy. What a dickhead. But it's sad. It gets even worse. My parents can't provide nice gifts to my fiance in the way that my parents are able to. And that's what hurts me more. It hurts for my fiance to know that her parents are able to do amazing things for us, but she knows my parents can't do anything of equal value. He seems to equate money with love. Gross. And, well, my parents wish they could contribute to the wedding. Some men's parents have pride and wish they could contribute to weddings. My parents want to show that they care about us, but they don't have the means to do so. Definitely projecting big time. It really does sound like he's projecting and that his fiance's family is really kind and doesn't care about that kind of stuff. It's so weird that he was surprised they included his parents' name on the invitations, even though they're not paying for a lot. Come on, dude. I agree because there was not one mention of the fiance's family treating them badly whatsoever. Not a snide look, not an comment, not an offhand comment, nothing. Um, What a tosser. I think he's projecting his own embarrassment at his parents' relative financial position, but it's probably even more his own security about his relative financial position as well. If he's in social work, there's no way he's making big bucks or probably ever will, especially compared to a lawyer. He makes a big deal about paying her rent and utilities and carefully tracking his payments. That has nothing to do with the wedding or his parents, but he included it. I think the whole thing boils down to the fact that he feels lesser, combined with some jealousy that his parents can't provide what hers can. He's projecting that onto the fiance and her parents because it's easier than looking within to see why he's so bothered. He doesn't even say she only wants store-bought things. She'd probably love the Afghan. I know I would. He's a dick. He just responded, "My fiance's mom doesn't do crafts, and I'm not sure whether her grandmother do or did. Her paternal grandmother is alive. My fiance has told me that she has never received anything that is handmade. I found this out a couple of years ago when we were helping friends of ours, another couple, move into their condo. The couple had a quilt made by a grandparent. Fiance didn't comment on the quality or look of the quilt. She stated she has never had anything that is handmade. I doubt my mom giving her a crocheted Afghan would be enough, and it definitely won't match to the amazing expensive gifts she gets from her parents. I hope this is a troll. I don't understand how such a conversation, "Where'd you get this quilt? My grandma made it. Oh, I've never had anything handmade," would lead him to think that his fiance would not want something handmade. That conversation would make me want to hand make something for the person that said they never had anything handmade, just so they can feel the love in receiving something made especially for them. Seriously, that screams that she'd love a handmade gift. He's projecting his embarrassment onto her. Uh, he says, "I have loved handmade gifts from relatives because I grew up with relatives who did those things. My fiance didn't grow up with handmade gifts, and I don't think she will like stuff like that. No evidence fiance won't like it, just that he thinks she won't." Alright, um, that's insanity, and I'm done reading the comments because they're insane, and it's already been 18 minutes, so, alright. Okay. Um, My girlfriend, 28 female, read my diary, 29 male, without permission and confronted me about the things I wrote about her. How can I end the relationship with clarity and closure given the long distance complications? And this one's originally from r slash relationship advice, and the title on r slash am I the devil is, "Gee, I wonder why she is upset." What the fuck was in the diary? Wait a sec. Wait. I mean, wait. Hang on a sec. She read your diary? Okay, well, that's kind of messed up. Okay, my girlfriend read my diary without permission, blah, blah, blah. This just happened to me yesterday. Even worse, I got accused of things I wrote in my diary about her. It was a 6 month long distance relationship, though we had known each other for over 10 years since high school, and it was a good relationship overall. I was pretty happy with her. Of course, there were some conflicts in my mind, but nothing too unchangeable. She came to visit me from our home country to London and was supposed to stay for over 10 days. On, on my birthday, while I was in the office, she found my diary and discovered my deeper thoughts about her. I'd written about how I felt she was very irresponsible and and how difficult it was for me to see her as a potential mother because she couldn't even take care of herself. I wrote that although she was academically well educated, she's a doctor, intellectually she had no real interests, no hobbies, no passion. Basically, very blunt thoughts that I wouldn't share with anyone because they would be extremely rude to say out loud. These were simply intrusive thoughts. She called me while I was working and asked how I could dare think such things about her and questioned why I was still with her. I said, "Hold on, I'm coming home." When I arrived, she was sitting there, victimizing herself, smoking cigarettes, asking how I could dare write those things, claiming she would never write anything like that herself. I told her, "Good job, you've just ruined our relationship. You've opened Pandora's box. The reason I write a diary is none of her business, and the things I wrote there were solely for myself. Writing is a way to release thoughts, and it doesn't necessarily reflect 100% what I truly think about her. I feel completely exposed and violated. I left the house for the rest of the night as I already had plans for a board game night at my friend's house, and I stayed there. I will return home tonight to officially end the relationship. Problem is that she's currently in another country with only one other friend here, and I don't want to leave her in a difficult situation because London isn't the friendliest place. Well, I don't feel I've done anything wrong. I would really appreciate your advice on how to end this relationship respectfully. Given the emotional weight and the long distance factor, we live nearly 3,000 kilometers apart. How can I handle this in a way that minimizes harm to both of us while also giving myself proper closure? Edit. Whoa, let's slow down a bit, folks. I'm honestly surprised that so many think this kind of privacy invasion is okay, and that I should be crucified for my thoughts. Don't worry, I'll definitely write in my diary later about how some of you might be coming from interesting backgrounds. But seriously, the core of my post isn't about whether I'm right or wrong. The real question is, how can I end this relationship as smoothly and respectfully as possible? Thanks for the advice. She shouldn't have read your diary, but I'm not sure why you'd want to stay with someone you think so poorly of to begin with. It's crazy that OP thinks she's victimizing herself because she was upset he basically called her boring and not fit to be a mother. Honestly, thank God she did read it because can you imagine wasting your time with someone who has so much disdain for you? Definitely wrong of a girlfriend to have done that. No coming back from that, but if snooping around gives me this kind of info, then yeah. And the fact that OP says he'll write about how some of us come from interesting backgrounds and all, if you think so shitty of someone, you owe it to them to leave them. Again, girlfriend was completely wrong to invade the privacy, but imagine staying in this situation. Yikes, I hope she runs far, far away. OP lacks basic empathy, thinks it's okay to be so vile about his partner, even if it's private, and portrays her hurt as victimizing herself. Like, what is one meant to do when the person they assume loves them writes that they're not fit to be a mother? Blah blah. Because sex, or she cleans his shit, or both. The general reasons that guys stay with women they don't like. He's a selfish time waster. Okay. I don't know. Whatever. Blah blah. OP sounds like someone who was caught cheating after their significant other looked at their phone. Like, yeah, wrong to look, but holy fucking shit, what he did was so much worse. You realize what people vent in their writings, and they're not always the true synthesis of innermost thoughts. Venting isn't the same as downright insulting. But isn't that subjective and up to interpretation? Exactly why he's writing it in his personal diary? You're trying to find guilt in someone for thoughts they had. Did you not read the post? And the thoughts someone has about their partner matter in a relationship. It's not like she's some random stranger. I think what she wrote about her is a sign that you need to end the relationship. Everyone occasionally thinks negative things about their partner, but this is not a normal level of negativity. It does not sound like you actually like and respect your girlfriend. Break up with her and see if she can change your flight to leave earlier or stay with a friend. If she can't and you can afford it, it would be kind to offer to pay for her to stay in a hotel or split the cost with her. And if none of those things work out, you will survive a week of painful awkwardness. It will suck, but then it will be over and you can find someone you don't have those massive doubts about. She was wrong to read your stuff, but you also clearly don't like her. Based on what you wrote in the diary and how you write about her here, I'm also wondering why you were with her. I would never write something like that about my husband. If we have an issue, I talk to him about it, but I don't bring contempt into it. I could feel your contempt. This is a lot to unpack. Yes, journaling is private, but that doesn't make you immune from accountability, especially when what you wrote about her was deeply unsettling and not so kind. I also cannot fathom writing pages about the person I love with such contempt. While I understand she crossed a boundary by reading it, I'm also trying to see from her perspective that she probably didn't expect to discover pages of cold, critical dissection of her personality, passions, and potential as a mother. I am not downplaying her actions, but in a relationship, shouldn't there be openness about our emotions and how we feel? Isn't that part of what relationships are? LOL. I noticed you try to rationalize your own actions slash words that hurt her by calling it processing or just thoughts slash intrusive thoughts. But to be honest, I don't see it as just venting. It reads like you were emotionally detached, trying to analyze her as if she were a stranger you didn't respect. Even from this Reddit post and your comments alone, I can see the emotional distance you've placed in describing her. She shouldn't have read your diary, that's valid, but it's not the only issue here. What she found inside was brutal, and instead of acknowledging that pain, you're fixated on how she found it, not what she found. You're using the privacy violation angle to dodge the harm your words caused. And let's also unpack how you portrayed her, victimizing herself, crying, smoking. You painted her as unstable to make yourself look more rational and justified. But do you know what I see? Someone deeply hurt, and rightfully so. Instead of empathy, you gave her a cold lecture and declared the relationship ruined because she opened Pandora's box. That's not accountability, that's deflection, and you're smart enough to recognize that surely. I honestly saw an opportunity in that moment to say something like, I'm sorry you to read that. I should have been communicating this to you instead of letting it fester in my journal. It turned into unkind critiques on you as a person. I understand how much those words must have hurt. While I do feel my privacy was violated, I also know this doesn't undo the pain. Can we talk about this? That's what emotional maturity looks like. But instead, you doubled down and made it all about you instead of opening it up as a dialogue with two persons in a relationship. To top it all off, that made me lose my mind was the fact that you were judging her on hobbies. LOL, she's a doctor, as you mentioned. You don't think she has depth, passion, or intellectual value just because she wasn't performing it to your taste? That's not a lack in her, it's a lack in your curiosity. Anyways, you're technically right about the invasion of privacy, but you're also missing the much bigger point. What you wrote revealed how you actually see her. Now that she's seen it, you don't get to backpedal and act like the victim alone. Go on through, King. You deserve a crown for the way you try to intellectualize all of this instead of just acknowledging that your words were hurtful. Sorry your privacy was violated, but also sorry you can't seem to look past your own pain to recognize hers too. Also, you asked for advice on how to end this respectfully when you haven't even given her the decency of respect. Not in your journal, not in your post, and definitely not in how you responded to her being hurt. Best of luck in ending the relationship. And now to use your own words and deflect it back to you. Good job. You've ruined the relationship by, well, you know the rest, lol. You clearly don't even like this woman. You don't write or think these things about a partner you like. I'm assuming this breakup will be very mutual. She's a doctor. She can afford to find other arrangements for the rest of her time in London. If you thought these things about her, why didn't you end the relationship sooner? And then OP responds, and he's got minus 60 downvotes. Are you always thinking good things about everything? No, but most people don't outright dislike their partner. I can honestly say I have never thought anything as horrible about my partner as you've written about yours, even fleeting. No passions, no hobbies, no interests. Can't see herself as a mother as she can't even look after herself. Although academically accomplished, followed by negatives. No, but there was a difference between writing down some blunt thoughts and basically denigrating your partner, whether privately to yourself or out loud. Yes, she broke your privacy, which is wrong, but I would never dream of writing something like that down about my partner. Your manner of speaking is very cold, and you don't seem to think very highly of her. Then you said she was victimizing herself as if she didn't just find out her partner basically thinks she's an eating moron. Honestly, break up with her. She deserves someone who thinks kindly about her and actually has empathy and compassion. I didn't get an ounce of that in your post. Alright. We might do, I think we're gonna do like one or two more stories and then, let's see. Okay. I've got one more story for sure. Okay, I got one more story for sure, and then and then scrolling down, I think I have a couple more stories, so I'm just trying to get through the ones that I saved. Okay, blah blah. Okay, this one, the title of this one on r slash am I the devil is Everyone Must See My Balls. And this is originally from r slash am I the asshole? No assholes here. That's the tag. Am I the asshole for disagreeing that I shouldn't wear shorts because a girl finds me wearing them uncomfortable? Hi all. I am someone who always has been wearing shorts my whole life. I've always worn shorts every weather, going gym, out training, anything. So today my cousin messaged me and told me not to wear shorts tomorrow. We were all meeting up at her place and I asked why. He told me his girlfriend finds it uncomfortable that I wear shorts. I don't mind not wearing shorts as it's her house at the end of the day. I ended up messaging her asking to better understand her. She told me she personally has felt uncomfortable when I've worn shorts because of the positions I sit in. She says it shows my thighs and a bit more higher up, which I was like, what the heck? My shorts go up to my knees, but okay. She didn't know how to tell me, so told my cousin to tell me. She said she wanted to tell me from her perspective, but also said she's not looking there directly. But when seen by accident, she's had to look away. What the heck does this mean? My shorts go up to my knees literally. I've worn shorts in front of her several times. I literally wear shorts all the time. I just found it so weird. So I spoke to one of my other cousins. He said that if a girl said me wearing shorts makes her uncomfortable, I need to affirm it and stop wearing shorts. I was like, what the fuck? He said I'm not being a man, and if I made someone uncomfortable, I need to compromise. I said that this is not similar when a guy tells a girl not to wear like a crop top, for example, and he ended up saying they're completely different with crop tops being normalized. For girls to show guys like it, it's natural, etc. He told me to say sorry I made her uncomfortable and all. He was saying that I am not being a man, and if I don't care that I made a girl uncomfortable and not willing to change, then he doesn't know what to say. I was honestly like so baffled as he just kept saying that I need to change and stop wearing shorts, just deal with it and stuff, and say sorry. So what do you all think? Am I the asshole for completely disagreeing? I am happy to not wear shorts as it's her house end of the day, but telling me not to wear shorts because you are uncomfortable is crazy, no? Why do I need to change what I wear to accommodate someone else? Am I being the asshole and arrogant here? Uh, Edit. Hi all, thanks for the responses. Quite an eye-opener. To clarify a couple things. Yes, I do wear underwear underneath. No way on earth that I never don't. A lot of people calling me the asshole because they think I'm showing my junk purposely. Absolutely not. No way on hell. No, that is disgusting. And no, lastly, majority of the comments are saying my genitals may have been showing because of the positions I sit in. However, why am I confused? Why I am confused is I've worn those shorts several times in front of my friends and family, sitting on the couch, swing, grass, floor, etc. If my genitals had ever shown, I would be told 100%. I would also 100% know too, because even when sitting in any position, I make sure to adjust my shorts. Oh my god, this is a really long post. My family would 100% tell me that they can see. I've had this shorts for time and worn them several dozens of times. No, my genitals are not showing at all. I wear underwear under too. In the case that I am wrong, I've worn the shorts for time. Not no one has ever told me anything. Just to experiment, I've worn that short and sat on my show across the mirror to see. Even when trying, it shows nowhere near my genital area. If anything, the max it shows is my upper quads. However, also recently we all met up and were chilling. There were so many of us, and I wore that shorts and sat on the sofa. However, no one even said anything, and I 100% would have been told. The girls would have mentioned it too, 100%, but have not even. I asked one of my friends if they have ever seen anything or the girls, and he literally said no, they haven't mentioned anything at all. Also, he has sat across me many times and would 1000% tell me literally. I've asked my friend literally, and he has said no, like I mentioned. All I was told is because I have made her uncomfortable, I shouldn't wear shorts. That is all. I've not been told by my cousins that I've ever exposed myself. It is literally just one person, the girl saying it. This is why I thought it was weird, but and everyone, thank you so much for your responses. Will be more mindful where I sit, when I sit. What the fuck? Okay, this thread is now locked due to an excess of rule violations. Yeah, no shit. Okay. Mm. Okay. Are your shorts loose basketball shorts? If so, the girlfriend is telling you that she has seen your dick and balls. That is why she is saying don't wear shorts, because the leg holes of sports shorts are so huge if you sit certain ways, especially with your leg up on your knee, as a lot of men do. You can 100% see genitals if the dude is not wearing tidy whities underneath. She's trying to politely tell you to stop showing you her genitals. She doesn't want to see them, regardless if it's in or out of her house. Anyone who was a child in the 70s got to see the tackle of quite a number of our male relatives, neighbors, etc., thanks preponderance of short shorts, and manspreading. Many of us had those moments immortalized in the family photo album since no one realized until after the photos had been developed. Don't be that guy. She's trying to tell you nicely that she does not want to see what God gifted you, and you are being undeniably thick about it. You're the asshole. Okay, and now we're back to r/AmItheDevil. Let's see some of the comments here. Okay, holy word salad, Batman. Talk about rambling. I lost the plot within like 3 seconds. Dude is fighting for his life in the comments that he definitely doesn't think his balls are always on display. Call me old fashioned, but I think the number of surprise genital viewings should be zero. Sounds like Gunther needs to tell this guy to put the mouse back in the house. Oh my god, I love that episode. I was gonna say that the story does remind me of that one episode of Friends where I think it's Phoebe who has the new boyfriend. No, it's Monica, right? It's Monica. I think it's Monica. Anyway, Monica has this new like boyfriend or which one? I forget. I'm gonna guess Monica. I don't remember exactly which. One of the girls has this new boyfriend. I'm just gonna say one of the girls. They have this new boyfriend and they have this new boyfriend and the guy like he has shorts and he's sitting in such a way that his dick and balls can be seen and like everyone is trying to explain it to him like very awkwardly because it's a very awkward weird situation and like everyone's trying to make it known that hey dude your balls are showing and it ends up like not working, like it doesn't work, and eventually Gunther has to be like, "Hey, this is a family establishment, so put the mouse back in the house, okay?" Hilarious. Anyway, I'm kind of curious about everyone's talking about the comments. Let's go back over to r/am I the asshole, and I'm gonna try and find some comments where OP is actually around. I'm looking for do 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 do. Um. Okay. Reminds me of an episode of Friends. Hey, keep the mouse in its house, Gunther. Oh my God, everyone's mentioning this episode. Yeah. Okay. Everyone keeps talking about this episode. Hey, buddy, this is a family place. Put the mouse back in the house. Thank God someone said this. My brain was chanting this in the background while I was reading the other comments. This should be top comment. I thought of it right away. Everyone is talking about the I read all the comments just to find this reference. I'm not disappointed. LOL, I just commented this under one of OP's replies because I immediately thought of Gunther. Boop. Okay. Do. I'm trying to find OP in the comments, and so far I cannot. He is nowhere. Okay. I don't know. Wait. Oh, I know how we can find him. Hang on. I know how we can find OP. Let's see these comments. I gotta see these comments. Do. There's basically no way knee-length shorts can would show anything. You can do handstands with boxers and it would still be difficult. I'm assuming these aren't loose athletic shorts, but even then it's still just not going to happen easily. Not the asshole. Why is this girl so concerned with your junk that she can't even see though? You may want to be really careful around her, even avoid her. She's weird, dramatic, and potentially dangerous. Thank you. I wore shorter shorts today and literally tried testing it, but you can't. Even if I tried, it would be literally hard. Sounds like it is hard. Okay. Thank you. It's not about shorts even. Okay, hang on. Dude. Alright. One, you are being deliberately obtuse and failing to recognize that you are exposing your genitals when you sit. No, your friends and family would not definitely let you know. Exactly. It's very awkward to bring up. It's awkward to bring up with like literally anyone, but especially family. Like, I don't know. Anyway, or she is policing what you wear, and if you were a woman, you would be defended. Okay. No, your friends and family would not definitely let you know. How would you know that? Because it's true? Wait, in this one he says learn to read. If you're being told that your junk is on display and you still choose to display it, then it's on purpose. You're an asshole on the way to a sexual harassment misdemeanor. And then OP says learn to read with a question mark. Jeez. What the hell? You know what's hilarious? The original comment and OP's reply both have exactly -10 downvotes. Listen, man, regardless of whether it's on purpose or not, the fact that people have asked you to stop, hundreds of people on Reddit have told you why, and you're in the comments arguing with all of them, and refusing to see any side other than your own means you are in fact an asshole. Okay, I don't know. Do. Yeah, alright. Hmm. Okay, this one has oh my God. Okay, this comment is from OP and it has 693 downvotes. -693 downvotes. Hi guys, I've been reading the comments and thank you for everyone. Many comments have mentioned that my junk can be seen. However, I don't know about that. I am not obnoxious about that and always do keep in mind I could be wrong, of course, but I don't know if my junk would be showing. I've worn shorts my entire life in public transport, etc. I always keep a mind, and if anything, only my quads would be showing. I don't think I sit in any position my junk would even be visible. If anything, only the top part of my quads would be exposed, even but nowhere near my junk. Even if I was to put my knees up, it wouldn't let it show all the way through. You probably don't get told all the time because people feel awkward or they don't want to embarrass you. Your cousin, his girlfriend, and even your other cousin who argued with you are making it clear though, and they are telling you. You say you adjusted or are cautious, but that doesn't mean there's never been any slip ups. This doesn't have to be a huge deal. You could start wearing those like tighter athletic boxer type underwear under them. I'm not sure what they're called. I'm not a man, but that's what my boyfriend wears with those types of shorts, and it works. My friends and cousins would 100% tell me it doesn't matter how awkward or embarrassing it would be. All my cousins said is not to wear shorts. And my other cousin has said just because I made her uncomfortable not to wear shorts. That's all. You don't know that. Ask your cousins today. People are fighting in the comments. It's never going to get any better. Okay, I think it's on to the next story now. Let's find. I'm looking for the next story right now. It's somewhere here. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. I have I recently heard this story, I think yesterday or the day before on a different channel. Yesterday. I heard it yesterday on a different channel. A channel named Oz's Vault read it on their channel, so I can't wait to read it. I'm really looking forward to this one. All right. OPN mom can't understand empathy. My mom excuse how it, there is a link to the first post which we're going to go to. It is a original story. Then there is an update, so we're gonna go through the whole thing together. Okay, my female 21 boyfriend, a male 25, is too attached to somebody else's daughter. Is this too big a red flag? A little background on how I met the love of my life. Last Christmas, a list at the restaurant where we got passed around. It was a list of Christmas presents for kids at an orphanage. I was heartbroken that none of the kids asked for toys. It was all shoes, blankets, and clothes. Kids were wanting just bare needs things. Then I found out that it was a regular customer who comes into our restaurant who brought the list for us to donate gifts. All the girls I work with gush over him. He's really hot and has a huge heart and volunteers for kids' charities locally. All the girls crush on him, so I thought there was no chance. Then he asked me out to lunch a few months ago, and we've been going out since March. I knew that he has an ex that is a single mother. His daughter is 4. I spend the night at my boyfriend's all the time and notice that the little girl calls him a lot. I used to think that it was such a good sign that he cares so much about helping kids that aren't even related to him. I thought he was so unique that way. I could see signs of him being a great dad. But he spends a lot of money on his ex's daughter. When anybody brings up her name, he turns into mush. I'm not sure if he's still emotionally too into his ex. He's too involved in her daughter's life. He sings to her at night on the phone to put her to sleep like every other night, and he goes to all her doctor's appointments and other regular dad stuff. I can't imagine why any man would be so invested in somebody who is not their real daughter. I used to think it was his charitable side, but this is way too much. He spent all day at the hospital when she broke her arm and has a picture of her with her cast on his wallpaper on his phone. I'm in love with him, but I can't compete with her. She is everything to him. This is my first time being so in love with anybody, and I think I'm not enough. At first, it was cute and endearing, but now I feel like total second fiddle to this little girl. Okay, she's 4. You're jealous of a 4-year-old. And I feel horrible for trying to compete with her. So maybe don't compete with her. Maybe maybe find a loving family and home with these people instead of don't stop competing with her, stop seeing it as a competition. This is my first time being so in love with anybody. It's once in your life that we find someone who is just a perfect fit for us, but mine is just to invest in other people other than me, and I feel in the way. I also feel like a selfish jerk wanting all of the attention and energy all to myself. You kind of are. On a side note, we've been together for months now, and I still don't know why he spends so much time and money on children's charities. I ask him and he gives vague answers. I think that there is something deeper going on with him because it's just not normal for somebody to do all that he does. My mom agrees that something is up with him, but that he just doesn't trust me enough to tell me. I wish I knew how to get him to open up. I don't know how to ask the right questions. Does he just not trust me? It makes me really sad because I love his dedication to the cause, but I don't know what drives him. I know he was raised by a single mom, but so are a lot of people. I'm getting sidetracked, so I'll get back to the real question. What is up with him and his ex's daughter? Is this something I'll have to accept forever? It's like a total father-daughter relationship without the actual blood bond. Just in case anybody wonders, no, she's not his bio daughter. Edit to add that he's not the average guy for his age. He's educated and totally focused on his career. At first, I thought he was so great that he could care less about video games, which most guys my age are still into, but he's so much more than that. I fall in love with him all over again when I see him interact with his ex's daughter, but it does make me feel less important. Just my luck that my dream man has more important things in mind than me. I also feel like a spoiled brat for ranting about this. I am a little conflicted that way. My mom always points that out. Too long didn't read. My boyfriend is too attached to my ex's daughter. Am I being too unreasonable in worrying about this? Too long didn't read. Mandatory submission slash question. This is his daughter. The bio thing is irrelevant. She's probably always going to be in his life. You probably need to view him as a single father and then consider whether you're okay with dating a single father. If you're not, that's fine. Just move on and next time ensure you date a guy without similar ties. She said she didn't want to compete with him because she feels like an asshole. Then then don't compete. Why do you feel like you have to compete with a 4-year-old child? Maybe don't be jealous. Just like this is a great way for you to reach out to him and like become more understanding of why he loves this little girl so much and start caring, and you can bond with her. You can get to know her instead of feeling like so competitive over her. You can like be I don't know how to explain it, but you just get to know her and be a part of her life and you know start caring about her and maybe become like a second mom to her in time. I don't know. Um, I actually have to use the bathroom and stuff, so I'll be right back, and then we'll do part. Hey friends, so I got through all my Am I the Devil all the saved r slash mind the devil posts, but I wanted to pour a little more into this video, and I'm ending this video today whether I've done as many stories as I want to do or not. Obviously this video is shorter than I originally intended it to be, but I really want to do that sim stream tomorrow. I can't do it tonight unfortunately because it's 6 o'clock and my mom is getting home in less than an hour, so unfortunately, I can't do it today, and I couldn't do it earlier because I had Tracy coming, and it was just a whole thing, and I didn't want to deal with it. So I can't stream, and I don't want to have to cut my stream short because my mom is coming home, and at this point, it'd be barely worth it to even set the stream up and get it going at this point. So I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know I'm going to put this Best of Writer updates post at the end of the video, and you don't have to watch this part if you don't want to. But, at the same time, it's an extra Reddit post for you guys. So, new update. I'm about to ruin my best friend's life, and I don't feel remorse. But I know if I don't end this video today, I'm not going to be able to do anything tomorrow. And I would like to do that stream tomorrow. And I'd also like to maybe start recording a new video if I have the time as well. Because it's my last day to record before there's a 4-day weekend, unfortunately, and I might be able to get some stuff done on Monday depending on like what time Tracy comes over and stuff. Because I know that Tracy's coming on Monday. It's not a holiday for her, so she's gonna pick me up and we're gonna do our usual groceries and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't really have the time. I don't know how much time I'm ultimately going to have, but I'm not going to have time. I'm not going to be able to record this weekend, and I know I'm not going to record. I'm not going to be able to record it definitely over after Thursday. I'm not going to be able to record for 3 full days, so I definitely wanted to get in some recording time tomorrow and at least start the next video. So I decided to cut this one a little short. Okay, and let's go. I am not OP. OP is this person. It's a throwaway account, originally posted r/true off my chest, and we are going through the entire post, so let's go. New update. I'm about to ruin my best friend's life, and I don't feel remorse. Trigger warnings, infidelity, emotional abuse and manipulation, abuse of authority. Recap. Original post from September 25th, 2024. My soon to be ex best friend and I have been friends since middle school. We know everything about each other. Our families are basically one big family now. You get the idea. Like I said, we tell each other everything. Recently, she came to me telling me she's been having an affair for about 4 months with her superior at her new job. She started her job about a year ago. She told me, not out of guilt, but to brag about the dream vacation she's going on with her affair partner disguised as a work trip. She asked me to cover for her if her husband asks if we've been in contact, because she's planning on going black for that week, so he would have no way of finding out. I think going black is like, not using technology. Side note, we've both known her husband since high school. They are high school lovers, so they've been together for almost 15 years. Her husband is one of the most honest, hardworking, genuine people I know. He, of course, took everything she said about working late and the business trip at face value because he trusts her more than he trusts himself. I told her I would not be covering for her and to get out of my house because I couldn't even look at her right now. Later, I told my husband everything that happened and he was just as shocked and disgusted. Her husband is basically his best friend now, so of course he has a lot of loyalty to him as well. My husband pointed out something I didn't even think of, our security camera. It caught everything. We plan on going to her husband tonight with the proof. It will be up to him to do what he wishes with it, but he deserves to know. Secondly, we're taking this to her job. As far as I know, fraternization of any kind is prohibited at her workplace. She was also promoted once by the same supervisor, so this could be seen as favoritism. Our guess is that they will both be fired. Finally, I'm going to send a snippet of her admitting the affair to all of her family, including mine. As I said, our families are very intertwined, so I will easily be able to contact the majority of her family. I'm not going to give her a chance to spin this against me or her husband. Some may think this is harsh, but I wholeheartedly disagree with what she's doing. Edit to add, I decided to take the advice of some of the commenters and leave it up to her soon to be ex to decide to go nuclear or not. As some of you pointed out, he may decide to stay with her, and going nuclear would ruin his life in turn. The other reason is going nuclear and making her lose her job could affect the outcome of the divorce. We still plan to tell him, but we have decided against the other two options for now. I'm going to let soon-to-be ex know that if she tries to pin this on either of us or tells anyone a single lie, I will do a 180 degrees and go nuclear. Sorry about the train outside. I will not be seen as a villain for a situation I didn't even ask to be in the first place. She was the one who thought it would be smart to tell her monogamous friend with traditional values that she's cheating on her spouse. She can lie in her bed. Small update, everyone involved, Alyssa equals the best friend, Noah, best friend's hub. I decided to take I mean, means husband. I decided to take the advice of a few people and reach out to Alyssa before I went to her husband. I recorded the conversation and let her know I was for my safety. She seemed still extremely nonchalant about the whole thing. I told her I was worried for her, and even for her, this was very out of character behavior. Long story short, she's felt very weak and unbalanced in her and Noah's marriage. Context, Noah went to a trade school and makes very good money. Well, up until a promotion, Alyssa was making slightly more than minimum wage. She has recently been reading up on some anti traditional values and the women in those forums attacked her for making less than her husband. She then explained that she noticed her supervisor was trying to flirt with her, and her internet friends told her to run with it and use him to get higher up. She, of course, did, but admitted she'd become emotionally attached to him as well. All in all, she admitted she doesn't really regret the affair because it helps with her career and she found true love. I told her she had the option to tell Noah the truth before me, but hubby and I were coming over tonight with the video of her admitting the affair, so she wouldn't be able to sway it in her favor. Again, she very nonchalantly said, okay, and hung up on me. I don't know what the heck is going on. I can't tell if she's having some sort of psychosis, or she's literally just so detached from her marriage that she doesn't care what happens. Hubby and I still plan on going to Noah tonight, but I'm honestly intrigued to see that she says to him if she says anything at all. Relevant comments. OOP on having the legal rights and consent to send the video evidence to Alyssa's workplace. OOP says, I'm pretty sure we will be fine legally if we do ever end up sharing it, which we've decided against for now. She knew we had cameras in our house. We have a very obvious ring doorbell as well as outdoor cameras. The indoor ones are obvious as well. Plus, where we live, you have the right to record on your property without consent, so there will be no ability to retaliate against us. This is the whole reason I got so upset. She's a new hire with basically no experience in the field, and she got a promotion for the stereotypical banging the boss. She's always been the person to look for loopholes or easier ways to do stuff, but this is a new low. I hope at the very least the supervisor gets fired. Someone like that shouldn't be in a position of power because they obviously can't handle it. I've thought about maybe making an anonymous tip to the company about him specifically, but I don't want it to lead back to my ex-friend for now. OOP on telling Alyssa's husband about the video evidence and then going nuclear. OOP, the only reason I'm against it for now is because of some very insightful comments. He's a very good man and he might forgive her and decide to reconcile. Even though I don't agree with it, it's his decision and I don't want to in turn ruin his life by letting everyone know he stayed with a cheater. Someone also said affecting her job could affect the outcome of a possible divorce, and I wouldn't want anything to play against him. I completely agree, and hubby and I decided against going nuclear because at the end of the day, soon to be ex will be the only one who gets hurt. It will be solely his decision unless she tries to spread rumors or lies about me and my husband or her soon to be ex. I plan to tell him if she decides to try and spin this. I will send a clip of the video to everyone she tells and let it spread from there. Commenter, agree. Also, OP, please be prepared for her husband to stay with his wife and cut you and your husband off. Marriages are complicated, and sometimes things don't play out the way you imagine they will. You should tell him 100%, but what he does with that information is up to him. And please remember that this is not just blowing up your ex-friend's life, it's blowing up your husband's life too. It's his call whether he wants to go nuclear or not. OOP, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he decided to stay with her. He's a very forgiving man and may be willing to give it a shot. As tough as it will be, we do see ourselves going no contact with both of them unless a divorce were to take place. Because as much as we love to continue being friends and support the husband, if the ex-friend is part of the deal, we can't support that. Update September 27th, 2024, 2 days later. Apologize for not having time last night. We were obviously busy. People involved ex bestie Alyssa, bestie's husband Noah. I took a lot of people's advice and decided not to go nuclear. As many people said, at the end of the day, it's not my circus. The decision should be left up to the wrong party, and that is Noah. I also decided to reach out to Alyssa before telling Noah, and decided to give her a chance to confess to Noah herself. Yeah. After I talked to her, I was legit thinking about reaching out to her parents about medical help because she was so unbothered and so non remorseful about the affair that I thought she was having some sort of mental break or psychosis. Yes, Alyssa's always been the kind to find loopholes or ways ahead, but cheating on your spouse for almost 2 decades for financial gain, it's not normal. If you didn't see my small update, the whole reason Alyssa started the affair was to get the promotion at work. It evolved into an emotional affair eventually, though. She admitted that her new friends from some feminism forums and Facebook groups told her she wasn't as valuable as she was making significantly less than her spouse, something I learned she's been more insecure about than she's been telling people. They also told her that using a man isn't cheating as long as there's no emotional attachment. She's just being a girl boss. She admitted she couldn't separate her feelings from the intimate aspect and started going on regular dates and vacations, and eventually they started calling each other boyfriend and girlfriend. The affair partner knows she's married but was told they were on the verge of separation. My husband and I arrived at Noah and Alyssa's with some booze and some dinner, and by the time we were there, Noah had already gone through a bottle of wine. Surprisingly, Alyssa did confess to Noah about the affair. He told us it was extremely non apologetic, though. She sat him down and told him that she wasn't going on a business trip this week. She was going on a vacation with her boyfriend. Noah, being the clueless and loyal person he is, thought he meant to say husband and was so excited. He asked if they're going to Italy like they planned for, and Alyssa just stared at him. She repeated, with my boyfriend. It took a few minutes, but it finally sunk in. He told us it wasn't pretty after that, and said he embarrassingly got on his knees and begged her to fix everything. She yelled for a bit, but then just stonewalled him again. She was already packed to leave and just left him there sobbing. She turned off her location, which both Noah and I were a part of her family on the app, and we have no idea where she went. We assume she went to her affair partner's house, because if she had gone home with 2 suitcases, her mother would have reached out to Noah immediately. She sees him as a son. We sat down with Noah and said we had video and audio proof of Alyssa exposing and explaining the affair, and we will send them to him in case he needs them. I explained to him going swiftly, Alyssa obviously doesn't care anymore. As I suspected, the idea of reconciliation is still in his mind, but he doesn't see it happening. In order to reconcile, both parties must admit fault and want to reconcile. Alyssa clearly doesn't. We've got him in contact with a friend of my hubby who agrees to let him help him pro bono until the divorce shows results. I can tell he's still hesitant about going forward with about going forward with divorce, but he knows also can't force Alyssa to stay. As comments have suggested, this is where we will bow out. We're obviously going to continue to support Noah, but it's not our situation to handle. It's his. If there's any future updates, I'll of course ask Noah first, but you'll be the second to know. Thanks for being so supportive and helpful. It made me realize that how Noah handles his life and his marriage is his responsibility, not mine. Edit ad, I wanted to clear up some questions from the last post that I didn't really answer in the update. What did Alyssa ever do to you that made you want to go so nuclear? Honestly, nothing in particular. Like I said, for the past few years, our friendship has been for convenience at its best. We've basically been friends because we know each other so well, and we have at least one friend. Alyssa Alyssa has always had qualities I don't agree with, but who doesn't? I think it was just the whole situation that made my blood boil, especially since Alyssa had always been disgusted by cheaters. She was the kind of person to cut dozens of people out of her life if it meant not supporting someone's infidelity. So for her to make a complete 180 and not even have guilt for it, it just grinds my gears. That's part of the reason I think she's having some sort of mental breakdown. Not only is it hypocritical, it's extremely out of character even for her. Are you in love with Noah? Of course not. Singing someone's praises and trying to portray that they're a genuine and good person doesn't automatically mean you want to sleep with them. Our relationship has been nothing more than platonic for the entire time I've known him, because he loved Alyssa and I love their happiness. I love my husband and literally only ever saw Noah like a brother. Logic, people. Relevant comments. Commenter 1 says, I hope he, the husband, has some self respect and dignity and goes through with the divorce. If he decides to inform their employer, tell him to do it after the divorce. OOP. As much as I love the guy, he basically worships the ground Alyssa walks on. If she came through the door right now and said sorry, even with no remorse behind it, I'm 99% sure he'd pretend like the last 4 months were a fever dream. Commenter 2, you handled this incredibly well, and even though it's a painful situation for all involved, your thoughtful approach will likely help Noah through this difficult time. If there are future updates, I'm sure everyone following this story will be eager to hear how things unfold. Wishing the best for Noah and for you and your husband as you continue to support him. OOP, thank you. Like I said, I made this post and the decision to go nuclear in a fit of blind rage, but I soon realized I was being irrational. It's not my place to serve Alyssa vigilante justice. In all honesty, if she's not careful, she may out herself at work. And it's their decision what to do with the two of them. OOP on notifying Alyssa's workplace. OOP, I'm not going to. If Noah decides to reconcile, she'll be out of a job, which just adds to the problem that caused the affair in the first place. If she gets fired during the divorce, could be grounds for alimony she doesn't deserve. OOP on what form Alyssa got the advice from. OOP, it wasn't a national or creditable group. It was called like Independent Women of Insert State, and it's a bunch of women who give advice and other stuff tailored to laws and jobs in our state. The advice she got was from a group of women she met in that group who had their own personal group chat. She called them her friends, but I guarantee none of them are going to help her pick up her life now that it's ruined. Date number 2, October 5th, 2024, 8 days later. Well, I didn't expect to be back so soon, but the last week has been basically a speed run of terrible events. This will probably be my last update, so feel free to consider this the conclusion of the events. Everything bad that could have happened happened. The past 2 days specifically have been absolutely horrible. So if this is all over the place, I'm still all over the place. So I don't know if it was the day she left or the day after, but Alyssa and the affair partner went on their vacation. The only reason I know of is because she posted pictures all over social media of her and affair partner. She had absolutely no shame. It was very clear that even if she wasn't divorced, this was her new boyfriend, which of course notified her family of the issues. Noah's phone was blowing up with apologies, accusations, everything you could think of. Noah, being the people pleaser that he is, decided to tell her family they were on a mutual break instead of telling everybody she cheated and that was the affair partner. Alyssa's mom fortunately didn't believe him and came to me. I didn't hold back. I told her that she's been cheating on Noah for months and that she recently bragged to me about her sugar daddy affair partner, and that's the only reason she's come clean to Noah. Alyssa's mom then dropped a bomb on me that even I didn't know. Alyssa is a serial cheater. Her mom said in high school, Alyssa would bring boys home under the guise of school projects or sports related things, but She caught Alyssa kissing two different boys. Keep in mind, she was dating Noah all this time. She said she didn't think much of it and just chalked it up to being a crazy hormonal teenager. She also said she never expected her to marry her high school boyfriend, and by the time they were married, she figured Alyssa had stopped doing all this stuff. Neither her nor I have no idea that if she's done anything like that since high school through to the present, but I'm not interested in digging further into it. This just explains why Alyssa was so nonchalant about cheating, because apparently she's just always done it. I'm guessing her girl boss friends awoke something inside her, and she remembered how easily and nonchalantly she would cheat, and it inspired her to just do it again. I don't know. I'll be honest, I kind of yell at her mother is something I'm not proud of. Like I said in previous posts, Alyssa's mom is basically my mom, so formalities and everything aren't something I think about when I talk to her. So I freaked out and told her she set Noah up for this kind of life, when he could have found somebody 10 times better. She took it like a champ and just let me vent until I was calm again. I apologized for yelling, but calmly said you and I both know that Noah deserved better. You should have said something before you got married to her. She agreed, but said it's too late now to focus on that, and that the real issue at this time was supporting Noah. I told her she wanted to support Noah. She could have told him his fiancée was a cheater 10 years ago and hung up on her. I've since talked to her, we're fine, but I was just too mad at her in the moment. Next thing that happened was that the photos got back to a colleague, and both of them were out of a job before their vacation was even over, as I assumed their workplace was extremely upset, and did consider Alyssa getting the promotion favoritism, and they were both let go. Noah told me that there were at least three HR complaints about them, so it was a no-brainer. Of course, the beautiful relationship Alyssa and her affair partner had turned sour as soon as he learned he was let go from his six-figure job because of her. He was so pissed he even canceled Alyssa's plane ticket home out of spite and planned to leave her stranded there. This is where all of you will be disappointed, and so am I. But Noah immediately forgave her, bought her a ticket, and moved her back in. She told him it was just a huge mistake, and seeing how her affair partner treated her made her realize what she could have lost. It's obviously all BS to me and hubby, but you already know Noah ate that shit up. He's told us that he's urging her to go to couples counseling, but of course it's not an ultimatum, so basically she just got to have her cake and eat it with no consequences. We told Noah previously and reminded him that if he decided to take Alyssa back, we'd be going at the very least low contact. We kept to our word, and I've completely blocked Alyssa and I've Noah unblocked, but don't plan to engage in small talk to invitations to stuff. We refuse to be like him and just act like this never happened because that's not normal. He understood, but told us he has to stand by the vows he made to his wife, which we both understand to an extent and wished him well. So yeah, Alyssa got to sleep with another man, go on a nice vacation, lose her job, and still gets a bed and a husband to come home to. All's well that ends well? I don't even know how to feel about this. Like, if they want to live their fucked up, broken marriage life, that's their choice. I'm not even mad anymore, just drained. I'm almost glad it's over now because I don't know if I could deal with this for months on end. I knew this was going to happen eventually. It's just who Noah is, but it feels just as idiotic as it sounds. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. I'm glad we decided to step back because honestly, both of them have very clear psychological issues that need to be addressed with a professional, but neither of them will ever do that. I'd rather be rid of people like this. Sorry if I'm being blunt or mean, but at the end of the day, both of them have issues I didn't sign up to deal with. I don't need this kind of stress while hubby and I are trying for kids. So yeah, I guess this is it. Yep. Alright, hang on. I have to wipe my nose and then I can get back to this. The story's not over yet. I'm just taking a second to do whatever to do. I don't want to get this stuff. Alright. Top comments. Commenter 1. I feel for Noah. He'll always be a sucker for her, and she'll always get away with anything. No consequences for anything. MC is not an ultimatum. Sigh. Unbelievable. Maybe one day I'll catch her with a guy in their own bed, and I'll snap out of it. You did the right thing the way you handled it, and distance yourself right now. Don't turn your back on Noah, though. He's going to need people. Hang on. Oop. Commenter 2, I feel no sympathy for Noah. He needs to find his balls from wherever she hid them because she will cheat on him again and again and again, and he will always stupidly take her back. You're completely justified in staying away from that mess. New update. Editor's note. The latest update is over 5 months old and hasn't been posted here on the sub. Update November 2nd, 2024, almost 1 month later from the prior update. It's been about a month since I last posted. I wasn't planning on updating, but the most hilarious thing happened with Alyssa and Noah. I needed to tell something. Bear with me. This is all through the grapevine because Hubs and I are still no contact with them. So first off, Noah has rewarded Alyssa's cheating with another vacation. They're planning on going to Italy for their vow renewal. Their plan is to basically start over their marriage, even though they've been together for 15 plus years. Not gonna lie, I burst out laughing when I was told this. I just think it's so hilarious that they're both gonna sweep this under the rug and try to act like their life didn't implode. But hey, if it makes them happy, who am I to stop them? The second thing is they've decided to try for a baby. One thing Alyssa and I always bonded over was being conservatives who wanted to be child free. Neither of us just felt like we would be good mothers. Of course, since we live in a largely conservative community with conservative families, we were always basically bullied into changing our mind. But we had each other, that's the important part. Once I met my husband, once I Once I met my husband, I kind of changed my mind about kids, which we are also currently trying for, but Alyssa never swayed. The last conversation we had about her family pressuring her into kids was about 2 months ago, a week or two before the cheating incident. Not only do I think this is a terrible idea because the baby is going to grow up in a dysfunctional family, I guarantee that Alyssa won't love this child. I honestly just feel pity for everyone involved now. Noah for thinking his life has to be staying with the cheater, Alyssa for basically forcing herself to live a life she doesn't want to live, and their future child for being born into this clusterfuck. So yeah, consider this the official end. Maybe I'll be back in a year or two when it turns out Noah has been raising another man's baby. I can't wait for that update. Anyway, that is the crazy end of that story. I do not, for the life of me, understand why Noah is back with Alyssa after everything. Like, does he know that she was cheating in high school and before then? And does he know how much she's cheated, like, in the past? It's because OP knew about that. OP found out about it from her mom. So did they tell Noah? Did one of them tell Noah? I think Noah deserves to know because she's done it in the past and she's done it in the present and she's going to do it again in the future. And yeah. And the first comment says, "Well, this was a frustrating read." I also have to point out that this person's flair is yes to the homo, no to the phobic. I love that. The Lion, the Witch, and the Audacity of this bitch. That's this next person's. Anyway, I'm more to believe that this is just fetish content at this point. This is something for everyone incels, cuckolds, general misogynists. It's a veritable feast. For everyone but women, admitting this story is true. I don't condone cheating at all, but holy fuck, the OOP is absolutely horrible herself, too. What is. Wait a sec, what the fuck? What? Why is she horrible? She's not horrible. She she listened to the comments. She didn't go nuclear. I know that Reddit in general has a hard on for going nuclear and vindication, but I don't get how anyone in their right mind could even think about not only telling the husband, but also announcing it to all of their families, as well as making a fuss about it at her job. That's not what you do in real life. If you meddle with drama, even if you are the good guy, you would also develop a reputation for being involved in the drama, because gossip has a way of straying from the truth. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. She decided not to. So condescending. I hope she never does anything wrong because it'll be a long fall from that high horse. I detest a cheater as much as the next person, but it's just cringe to involve yourself in this much. When they said that Alyssa was doing the affair as feminism, I knew it was bait. Some reason the both conservators who were child free also added to the bait to me. Especially since she ended her previous update on trying for kids. Like, I get people change their opinions like that on that, but I feel like she wouldn't refer to herself that way still. Right? In the US, at any rate, conservative and child free aren't usually used in the same sentence. Husband went to trade school and makes more than her. Reddit is famously pro trade school. Okay, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, the whole gang of mean girl feminists bullying another woman for not making more money than her man, and also the being less valuable was a truly hilarious tidbit. Mean girl feminists who totally buy into the idea that fucking your way to the top is a viable career development strategy. Sure, Jan. Okay. Oh my god. Straight up, this is someone who believes in Andrew Tate bullshit about high value men who think feminists talk about the exact same shit flipped around. It really is. There are definitely toxic feminist spaces, but this was literally just gender swapping toxic male BS. This mysterious ghost group of Facebook feminists with no group name who are somehow strong enough to make women cheat on their husbands. Must have forgotten to add that bit about turning women into lesbian witches. That'll be the next post. That's why all the cheating. You need to fulfill your comp pet quota before you get invited to the forest orgy. This is flare material right here. Susan, here's your toaster. Oh my god, I want to be in the lesbian witch wife coven. Yeah, all right. There's a lot going on in the comments here, but I'm actually curious to see the hate for OP in the original story, so we're just gonna go there. Dude. I'm about to ruin my best friend's life. Okay, here we go. I found the original post. It's been archived. The comments are locked. Uh, and it looks like it's been deleted, but luckily, it always, even if a post's been deleted, the comments are still there. So let's read them. Tell the husband that it's his decision on how scorched earth he wants to go. What you do to her affects him. Get her fired, you risk that he'll have to pay spousal support to her. Tell the family they are going to bombard him. Exactly. Tell the husband, but you can offer to go fully scorched earth, but leave it to him. What if he wants to play it cool while he gets his affairs in order? Do they have kids? Maybe he wants to control info gets filtered to them. And as you said above, you could potentially hurt him in the divorce should he choose to go that way. I can think of a bunch of other factors. Maybe he doesn't want his heart ripped out publicly. Maybe that'll just hurt him further. Leave that decision up to him. Ugh. Also, if she gets fired or loses her job before divorce, she may try to get more alimony from her husband. So I agree, inform the husband and let him get his ducks in a row. She chose to cheat on her timeline, let him proceed with the divorce on his timeline. Also, while she goes away on that trip, that would be a good time for her husband to meet with lawyers. She chose to cheat on his timeline, let him proceed with the divorce on his timeline is one of the best pieces of advice I've ever seen on this website. I understand that OP and her husband are hurt and want to support ex-best friend forever his husband, but this is his heartbreak. First and foremost, he should have ownership over it. I agree. What the wife is doing is horrible, and they should definitely tell the husband. But OP is making this bizarrely personal. Yes, they're hurt, but it's like a circle of grief thing. The husband is the innermost circle. Let him process and decide how to proceed. Okay, there's more stuff. OP seems to take great pleasure in this. Whatever happens to folks minding their own business? Oh, it's just Riley's parents outside. Riley's the baby who was born in my unit back in December. She was born December 26th, literally the day after Christmas, and I met her a few days later in like I think the first week of January. I met her because my mom was like, "Oh my God, the baby was born." And so I went to see her and I got like this little baby book. I found this book online that you can record. I think it's like the first 5 years of all of your kids' milestones. So I gave it to them so they could do that. So like first steps, first words, first I don't really know what all is in there. I just gave them like the book. I just gave them the thing like here's a book for you. And I also gave them one of Cream's blankets with her permission, obviously, but she said she wanted to give one to the baby. So she has a really soft blanket. They're really soft and comfortable and I love like touching them and Cream loves them too. She's always wrapped up in one. So, the baby has one and the baby's name is Riley and I also offered up my babysitting services. I don't know if they're going to use me or not, which I totally understand. Like, I don't really have babysitting experience. I did look after a toddler in our building one time. Like, we used to live in a house and like an actual legitimate house. And there was a downstairs and someone was living in the basement of the house and they had like this little toddler and one time I took care of her for a couple hours during the day. That's about the extent of my babysitting experience. I honestly have more pet sitting experience than I have more experience looking after animals than looking after actual kids and babies, but I could probably figure it out. I could probably do some research and figure it out. And I don't know, I might want to legitimately turn my babysitting into like a business and start babysitting like kids and stuff. I don't know. I feel like it would be really fun to like look after kids and that I enjoy it. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try and do the stream and stuff tomorrow, but I gotta eat something now, so I gotta end this video and I gotta break it down, and then I'm going to my battery just went to low and I have to plug my computer in, so I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna get something to eat, and I'm gonna deal with like a bunch of other stuff, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the stream. I'm gonna do the sim stream for sure. The stream is my priority, and then I am going to see if I have the time or if I want to start recording another video, and then I'll decide then. Like, I'm probably gonna have time on Monday regardless to record a video, so it hardly matters. But hopefully, I will see you guys tomorrow with the stream, and then I will see you guys in probably about a week with a new video, I'd like to say. I think it's gonna be on either Wednesday or Thursday of next week. So, anyway, I love each and every one of you guys. Please don't forget to always be yourself, and I will see all you guys in the next video. Bye.